Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TB&J podcast. Across from me today is Troy Brittingham.
I have so much fear every time you say anything because I'm always expecting it to be bad food.
that's a fair fear to have.
Straight from a special guest at the show.
I'm Jeff. Next to me is D. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, you're Jeffrey.
And your wife is here with us today.
The female.
I was going to say, what do we call you? Yeah, that's...
It me.
It me. Fair enough.
They can go by whatever they want to.
I mean, I guess this is 2023. Go whatever you want to do. We're doing Glass Onion, guys. Knives Out too. Let's fucking do it.
Peel it.
TB&J!
Peel it back.
TB&J! TB&J! Alrighty, Glass Onion, Knives Out 2. It came out in November. I saw it in theaters like a proper fucking adult. The rest of you fuckers wait until it was on Netflix.
I
Do you
wanted
even
to see it in theaters.
You know what? I saw it in Paris. So
Do you even
In my
remember it, or
hotel
did you have to
on my
rewatch it,
computer.
Jeff?
I
As
haven't
God
rewatched
intended.
it. I just reread it on Wikipedia. I wasn't about to rewatch it.
So you didn't like it.
It's not even that, and we'll get to that. There are very few movies in the world I've actually watched more than once. I'm usually
Really?
a one and done kind of guy.
I've heard that about you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, so if you're new here, a couple things. First of all, it is the official stance of the TB&J podcast that 1, Yingling is the superior lager, and 2, the 2020 election was stolen. Now,
Well, that I agree with. Second one,
I mean, these are no-brainers. Let's go.
Yeah.
Move on.
Can we get to a hard one now?
the first thing we do around here, we give everything a thumbs up or a thumbs
Happy
down.
January 6th, everyone.
Happy January 6th. We give everything a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
The day after Jeff's brother's birthday, is he still a douchebag?
Day before. My brother's birthday is the 7th.
Day before, gotcha.
Still a douchebag. What's up,
No,
Larry?
if it's day 7, since it is the day after.
Wow, what a good reason to interrupt. What were you saying, Jeffrey?
thumbs up,
thumbs up,
down.
thumbs down. Troy, we'll start with you.
Because
I'm thumbs up.
Female, we'll go to you.
Thumbs up.
D,
it's a very big thumbs up.
is it? How
It
big?
is.
Like Big Dick
it's,
Nick?
It's like
Oh,
it's
Nick Foles
it's-
reference. Yay.
This is a Philly
I
podcast.
think it's
E-
up for
A-
debate of my favorite movie of 2022.
Ooh.
Really?
Did we see that in 2020? We did. It just was in the wire, under the wire of.
Yeah, it came out on Christmas for Netflix.
I saw it. On,
Why didn't
like,
you
the
take me to see this in the theater? This
would
would have been a perfect date
because
night.
I pay a lot for Netflix.
Christ.
It did only have a week release in theaters. So.
Yeah,
All right.
and we were probably like meh.
Oh, you might have been in the hospital, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why we didn't see it.
Yeah.
Actually, now
Here's
I
the
remember.
thing. I was very much middle of the road with this movie. I was going to say thumbs up until the three of you said it. So now I'm going to say thumbs down.
I like how you're swayed by our opinion.
I am a little bit. Because I want it to be different. But also,
I like the power I feel.
we'll get into my...
The ending was not my favorite.
A hunch.
The rest,
hunch. Yeah,
the rest
let's
of the
shit on
movie
it right
is
away.
No.
No. If I'm a thumbs up, I know you just doing thumbs up, some downs. We're gonna get into depth. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I am thumbs up for 90% of the movie. It's absolutely amazing. The last
No, we have similar.
5 minutes are garbage.
So after we do the thumbs up, we
Just
do try
fun.
to say what we enjoyed about the movie. We do want to praise it before we shit on it. So, same order. Troy, give me your favorite thing about this fucking movie.
I liked the first one a lot. Benmoit Blanc is
Blanc.
100%
Blanc.
better in this movie than the last movie, and I liked him in
yeah.
the first movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The-
Benmoit
I agree.
Blanc is...
That's a good
he's actually kind of more of the antagonist of the first one for at least the first 70% of it.
Right.
Because you don't know
So-
what side
You
he's
don't know
on.
his deal.
and,
You don't know what he is.
you're rooting for her to kind of get away with it because
Right.
it's
Ana de Armas's character.
and
It's Marilyn Monroe.
she's trying to she thinks that she did it. She's trying to get away with it. So he's more of the antagonist. This movie, the first 60% of it is oh, this is him just trying to figure out who all these people are. So he's kind of the main character of this movie through a lot of it.
Yeah, I really like. What I really enjoy about all of it is just how this complements Knives Out.
Mm-hmm.
And makes me want to rewatch Knives Out, and I like the idea of seeing it from kind of a different angle, like you're saying, and I do think they made him much more of a protagonist than they did in the first movie.
I also like that in the first one, it kind of starts of him being like, he comes into the scene and you're like, oh, he's like this big genius, and he starts talking and you're like, oh, he's like an idiot, and then eventually it kind of wraps back around to like, oh, he's pretty smart.
Right.
He's a genius.
This movie starts with him as like, you're like, oh, well, here he comes, he's an idiot, and then he starts kind of like figuring things out and like showing that he's actually smart, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right, he is kind of smart, like because they can't fool you again of like, oh, he's actually a bumbling idiot.
Speaking of bumbling idiots.
Exactly. That's the good timing. But like they sort of halfway through, they're just like, no, he actually does know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, the figuring out real quick of what the murder mystery was, that whole scene gets me so hard. And then the blood splurt, like 40 seconds. Like, it is that the comedic time.
Did we start? Like,
and
he's just like, oh, good. And and he just like goes into the whole thing. Yeah,
I love the, what do we win?
What do I win?
I don't need pad.
To be clear, I don't need pad.
I love this for us.
Yeah, no, it's what I was. I had a whole. What's funny is that I had a faculty meeting today, and I totally just took notes in my head of what I would say to this, and I didn't bring that at all, nor take a picture of it or anything. But I'm gonna go by memory. I remember, like, so. What do we really like about this movie, right? Like, I liked how it complimented the other movie, and it reminds me of kind of how a lot of people will compare this to like Hercule Poirot or the Agatha Christie.
Right.
He's like that, but this kind of refocus of Ben, he really kind of finds his own place in the spectrum of like Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot, and now Benmoit Blanc. Like he fits right in. Like,
it's iconic now. It's literally an iconic character that we are going to have several movies
kind
of.
A combination. Like Arthur Conan Doyle had like. If you
Sir
read his stories,
Arthur Conan Doyle.
Sir, whatever.
Put some respect on that name.
Spit some respect
even though
on
he
it.
deserves none.
Yeah, like no, I like his he had his murder mysteries follow no rules.
Yeah,
like it's just fun story, right? Like and it's actually very character based, like with Watson and Sherlock. So it feels really like I like how they kind of mix that with like a legit murder mystery, and it's kind of a mixture of the two. And I really like how like this movie. That was like what I really felt like when I see this movie, it makes the first movie richer.
This is a modern Clue. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
It's a modern Clue. It's amazingly done.
It's very well done. I think if I were to give my favorite thing is when we're getting introduced to all the characters together when they're on the dock going to the boat, and like
funny.
Credit where it's due. My fiance pointed this out to me after we watched it, but like everybody showing up with the masks and how they were worn was a good like reflection of their character. Yeah. Like fucking Agatha Harkness's character. That's not her real name.
The character from
what's her name?
It was
Catherine
genius.
Vaughn.
It was genius just to put her in this movie because every time I saw her, I was just like, but what if it was her?
This is another thing that I wanted to. You're right, and this
the dumb blonde had the see-through mask or the mesh mask.
The mesh mask.
The Joe Rogan ripoff had no mask.
No mask and a gun. Like he was good. His mask was his dick. Gun. His dick gun.
Did you guys notice that when they got the cure for COVID, apparently?
Oh yeah.
That it's Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, I did. I was like, well, that's fucking Ethan Hawke.
I thought it was Ethan Hawke, and then he disappeared, and I was like, was it not Ethan Hawke?
I actually laughed the hardest when he's like, "You're good."
You're good.
I was like, wait, what?
So, like, is this some sort of vaccine? Or you're good. Okay. I guess so.
It almost felt healing for COVID. Like, it was to see COVID be funny in a movie.
Right.
Dude, I didn't think it would be possible to make to make it funny without being cringy.
Yeah.
That was genuinely funny.
It was genius. This is what I'm saying.
Did.
This movie set up an immediate emotional connection to the last few years of our life.
Ethan Hawke is credited as Efficient Man in the credits.
Ooh, that's the best title I've heard in a long time.
I'm jealous.
Hugh Grant was Philip Blanc's domestic partner, which Blanc is probably gay.
But 100%. They totally.
Did you see his outfit?
He's 100%
like the mask matching.
His matching mask was like, I was like, oh my gosh, your brother would die for that.
Yeah,
So listen, wait. The other part about this
but is he a
that,
top or a bottom? Go.
Before-
I don't
Wait.
wanna-
Thumbs up or down?
Oh.
Thumbs up.
Listen,
I
Hugh
don't-
Grant is 100% the bottom. I know my history.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hugh Grant is.
I
not-
know my
Wait,
tabloid
is it
history.
Sir Hugh Grant? What the fuck are we saying now?
It's
it?
more like
Did someone
sir.
lightly tap him with a sword, so now I have to give him a different pronoun?
Can we back
Is it
up to the
pronoun?
COVID stuff?
Is it
because that's
surnoun?
how this movie opens.
Surnoun, pronoun, surname.
He's not a sir.
What is
That's
it?
how that movie opens. The movie opens with Catherine Hahn opening for a UPS delivery and her just being like, "Oh fuck," and like throwing her coat over her face because the guy has a mask on, and that was like, yes, and I have been waiting for this because I had since COVID started. I was like, okay, are we not gonna say this happened? Like,
Yeah,
how
every
is
movie
history gonna
otherwise
show
will
this?
sidestep this.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything sidesteps it because nothing specifically takes place at a time, and everyone's probably just being like, whatever.
Sure, Marvel with
But
masks
Marvel
would have been weird.
is, for instance,
Well,
like,
half of them
how
wear
are you
masks.
gonna know this? Like, you kind of do have a time. Actually, you skipped over 2020 real
That's true.
good.
Oh
They
yeah, I
did.
went to the blank.
They did
Or-
that
they
by
just
accident.
So they had their own kind of COVID.
Yeah.
But for every other movie now, and I was wondering, like, what's gonna happen when we flash back to May? Like, are they gonna acknowledge the fact that this is what was happening? They have to, right? It's like going, but it's a global thing, and like that's a thing where it's like nothing else in history has kind of registered where it's like if you say that your movie is taking place in it's supposed to be a realistic
Lockdown.
world and it's supposed to be May of 2020, you have to demonstrate certain things that are, like it's everywhere.
It's okay. It's okay.
yeah.
They're all in my pod.
That was
So my
so
favorite-
funny.
Oh
There's
my
like
god.
80 people.
Should you
there.
be having a party? He's like, oh, they're on my pod. I was like, wait, what did you say?
My pod.
I
The
remember when
term
that was a
pod.
thing. That was a thing very briefly before they were just like, stop it, just
the
stop
whole
it.
the whole
socialize.
opening is great of them meeting them and getting this box, the mystery box, and Duke's mother knowing everything.
Oh God! In the background, cooking, just saying it's a
It's a hyptogram.
it's a compass. It's a
Yep.
compass.
Yep.
And
the
then
fact that Duke lives with his mom too, I was like, mwah.
when she's like,
Oh,
what the
but
hell,
he's an
mom?
alpha.
What
He's
the
a
hell would you
real
do? Why did
alpha.
you do this? And she just makes him hold the box, and then she slaps him.
Yeah.
She's like, who the hell are you talking to? He's like, sorry, mom. And I was like, nah, you're done, dude.
This movie hits every
was
level
so
of
good.
fun in an hour and a half that I
And we called it pretty early.
we
right?
did yeah.
Yeah.
We called it
was
generally.
I mean, Ben Shapiro had a hard time with it.
We called it before the twist, before the thing. I was like, wait a minute.
but it's a misdirect
Pretty
in
sure.
a murder mystery.
Did you
Can
hear
I-
that?
can
Oh,
I-
that was my favorite. Before we saw it, we're like, Ben Shapiro hates it. We gotta watch it.
Oh my God, I love this. Can't wait to love this.
I didn't know that, and I was
Oh.
blissfully
Oh.
ignorant. And thank you. For the
Oh,
one
he was
thing-
like, the whole first half of the movie's a misdirect. I'm like, do you?
That's what. Yeah.
It's a.
Yes.
He was baffled.
I've
He also
been to
said
a
pussy
play.
shouldn't be wet.
The-
So fuck Ben Shapiro.
The thing that he hated
when
the
did
most.
he really did?
Wait, time out. So when Wet Ass Pussy came out from
Oh.
Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, he had a big thing where he was like, pussy should not be that wet. That's a medical problem. These girls need to seek help. And like every woman on Twitter was like, have you never pleasured a woman? I feel bad for your wife.
Who is a doctor, by the way.
Yeah. I didn't mean to shatter your world. We're not going to spend too much time on this. We're just going to move on.
I did show
Wait a minute,
WAP
you need to
to
get a
my
bucket of
friend's
mop.
70-year-old mother in a car last week, and it went over very well. She
was-
thought it was hysterical, and then everyone realized what a genius Cardi B was.
Absolutely.
She's an absolute
We have
genius.
proven to many a 70-year-old how
Yeah,
awesome
my mom's
that
watched the
song
whole
is.
video. I made her watch the unedited video. It's
Your
We
mother?
will-
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. We will be any opportunity we can to say, get a bucket and a
And
mop. Like she will be like,
For that wet
She goes,
ass pussy.
I love that. Shout out to Cardi B. I'm sure you listen.
Yeah, I'm sure she's
she's a fan of the show. Okay, where were we? We were at the
How we got
mystery
here.
box. We were
Okay,
at the mystery
Jeff,
box.
Jeff, we're gonna
shut
turn
up.
your upside down thumb into
Shout
an
out-
upside
shout
right
out-
thumb.
Shout out to Angela Lansbury,
Aw.
to Kareem
R.I.P.
Abdul-Jabbar, all who were on.
his little Zoom chat?
His Zoom chat.
Yeah.
I hate stupid games.
They're playing Among Us. I was like, oh my god, that's right. That was
No,
super popular.
it
in
wa-
lockdown.
this-
They
is
set
everything
up
we did.
everything in this movie. Like the other part that like really makes this movie brilliant for me, regardless of the ending that we'll eventually get to, is just that like it literally the metaphor of the onion is layered throughout the movie in every square inch of the movie that you could fit it in the setting, in the plot line, in the setup of the background. Like everything is set up to be like, oh, you're peeling back layers. Like constantly you're moving someone from the foreground to reveal something in the background. Like you're constantly just peeling away what you think you saw, what you think you knew. You're turning the perspective to see something else. Like I love it's throughout the movie, and it's just like it's why it's so fun.
Fucking brilliant. But the attention to detail is definitely my favorite piece of this entire movie. Every little tiny thing doesn't go amiss. Everything is done very specifically and
you're
for
good.
a reason. It's
You're good.
Fucking great.
You're good.
You're good.
It's the Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke when he was like,
Oh, you're good.
You're good.
vaccinating everybody with the little like tongue thing.
So what did you think of Miles of Edward Norton's character? I mean, like, man, good casting.
Great casting. Fucking hated him from the jump, and I
Yes.
loved that I hated him.
I also like this whole thing that they do a lot where they take a good actor and then they're like, okay, what
He's
you
stupid.
need to do is you need to be a bad actor. We need you to
Yes.
pretend to be a bad actor.
It's-
like the same
it's
thing
so
as like
hard.
Mysterio from.
I imagine that's what
Spider-Man.
fucking Nick Cage is going to be in Renfield when that comes out later this year. Are you saying Nick Cage is a bad
I'm-
actor?
He said he's a Trekkie.
I love
said
the
he's the one who
lineup
did
of this
Star
movie with Elon Musk's downfall so hard. I was going, oh, so he's just
swears.
Elon Musk.
He swears at it.
And the whole time I was like, and like in the Rian Johnson or the director, Ryan, I don't know.
Ryan Johnson, yeah.
Ryan Johnson.
Ryan
Is that
Coogler.
really how that's
He just
spelled?
spells it
Yeah,
weird.
it's
Yeah.
just Ryan Johnson.
Okay.
Ryan Coogler.
I disagree. I
Okay.
I mean,
I love that he had to respond to this. He had to actually have a statement about whether or not he was like he's like, this is when art imitates life. No, the way that this parallels exactly what's happening with Elon Musk, and I mean obviously dramatically, but he lost like what 400 or 300 million
200 billion.
billions. Jesus,
also
200
tied to
billion.
Blood Diamonds. Look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, because that's where all of his money came
Yeah.
from when he started.
I know. Yeah, his daddy, just like Trump. It's so
Is it
fun.
possible that he just really doesn't care about that though?
It is highly possible.
Is it possible he's just like, yeah, Twitter sucks. I want to dunk it.
No, he's not that smart. It's
No,
just dumb. It's just dumb.
it
It's
just
not
dumb?
smart. It's just dumb.
Because I can see that being a Trump parallel too, and like being like,
It could be.
like it makes sense with Elon Musk, but like, is Elon Musk that dumb?
But come on, guys. This movie
Like, is he
is
that dumb?
Elon Musk in a nutshell.
He could
Like,
be
this is-
dumb.
Probably just dumb.
I don't know.
I'm on the side of he's that dumb.
But like, okay, I'm gonna just throw this out there
I'm
one
team
time.
he's that
Do you remember that time where he was talking about AI and like how like we won't be able to do stuff and like how we're gonna? He seemed. I remember hearing him and thinking like, oh shit, he's really worried.
No,
like this isn't good.
He's got moments where he was talking about the Boring Company and why he founded it because the number one killer of adults in America is car crashes. So if you have everybody traveling in tunnels by automated systems, it eliminates all these needless deaths. And I'm like, wow, what a smart thing. And then he does things like Twitter, and I'm just like, wow, what a dumb
Yeah,
thing.
He's got that. He's got that sort of like. He's got a strategy about him where it's like you hear him write once or twice, and then there's like it's like a mysticism that people like grab onto.
Yeah, and then you get all these weird nerds on Twitter defending him for being stupid. And it's
Yeah,
like,
they're
why
just
do
bro
it?
Rogans, guys. It's the same
Yeah.
dumb
Yeah, it's
white
just
dudes
another-
that think Joe Rogan is genius.
Yep.
Joe
Which
they
Rogan
also
only
kinda have
knows
Joe
how to
Rogan.
ask questions. The single talent of Joe Rogan is being able to ask questions.
What a brave stance of doing a podcast and shitting on the number one podcaster in the world.
Yeah, because he
No,
knows how to ask questions. That's
no,
all it
he's
is.
always been good at that. Like, I mean, I was an early fan of her. I loved Joe Rogan like since news radio. Like, I've been a long.
I thought you were
time.
going to say since he was a fighter.
But like, there's no doubt that like he's ridiculously since his kickboxing days, he was literally no one at that time.
I don't
Joe
fucking know.
Rogan wasn't a fan of Joe Rogan at that time.
I've never followed professional fighting in any
Anyway.
respect.
Just that, like, I liked it when he did. Like, literally, my favorite thing was when he was on Sci-Fi Channel. Like, Joe Rogan questions everything. That was the name of the show, and I was like,
Yeah, no.
you're great at that. That's great. I wasn't taking it as gospel.
No,
Like-
but no, you're right. Like he is sort of like a he
We've
positions
gone off the
himself.
rails.
He positioned himself as like a very like normal everyman kind of like.
He
listen,
didn't position
I'm
himself.
just-
He is.
well, yeah, absolutely. That's
Well-
also true. But
There's no doubt that he's. he keeps himself grounded with stand up, I think, because how can you not? Like, there's no way you can't.
We've gone to see him do
stand
stand up. We paid
I know. There's no way
it's-
but he does it. Like, I know we saw it at a big theater. He does close stand up where like he's gonna feel like a crappy joke if he's crappy. Like, we're places where people don't give a shit that it's like there or like they're not the first time. So like I think that's how he keeps himself, and the fact that he stands. He hangs around a ton of. Clearly, he probably knows better comedians. I think he knows that he's like he has fun being a comedian, and he works at it. And he does like he does
but
everything
back
else.
to Glass Onion.
Whatever.
I think.
Thank you.
Thank God, I was the one. I got us back there by getting into it.
The layer. We can talk about the layers of Joe Rogan layer.
Yes. The onion layers.
I get it.
Joe Rogan's a glass onion.
He might
He's
be a glass
another
onion.
one of these
'Cause he's
characters. Edward Norton is a great cast. Everyone nice. Everyone casted in this movie is insane. But Batista is going to come out as in the next 5 years probably one of the biggest actors.
Oh yeah.
And he is yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
I've known he's the best.
He's one of the he is an
WWE
absolute
wrestler.
talent. I think he's going to go places.
I think his if anything holds him back, it'll be
His size?
brain. Like
His
not
size.
not his brain. I mean like the brain that's coming out of his head.
the wrinkles in
weird-
his
of
in
the
his
skin, like the wrinkles in his
makes
brain
me
that are clearly
uncomfortable.
impressioned on his
He'll just wear hats. Every
Yeah,
role.
no, I like him better with a hat.
Do you think he's gonna be good in that new movie coming out from
With the gay
M. Night
dudes?
Shyamalan?
I
Knock,
think
knock.
it will probably be bad, but he'll be good.
He'll be good in it.
To, like,
He's
knock
our
at the cabin or some shit.
Yeah, I was interested by
I
the
like
fact
him.
that it's an M Night movie with him in it, so I'll see it because of that.
You still get interested by M Night
Yeah.
movies?
I do actually.
Me too.
local dude.
Night's good.
Local dude. Let's give him credit.
Yeah, no. Buxiani, what?
What?
I just like the fact that he makes whatever he wants without compromise, and
He made one
it-
good movie, and now he can make whatever he wants.
Yeah, and you're like, and
I like
you're
a
like,
couple movies.
he's made more than
Science
one
is
good
okay.
thing, but like every now and then, like you're,
like
you're sitting there,
Unbreakable.
you watch it, and you're like,
That's better than Science.
you'll watch it, and you'll be like, yeah, it's not good, but I appreciate the fact that you wanted to make this, and that's all I'm at.
So this movie
Thank you. Bring it back to Onion.
synopsis is going to be done by Jeff, and it's going to be
We don't
awesome.
really do synopsis anymore. We don't need a play-by-play. It was just.
Nah, we don't
It's
need
more
it.
so just discussing what we.
Yeah,
liked
what
and
are your
disliked.
favorite? I mean, like, okay, what else do we? love
Oh,
about
Jeff,
this
why
movie?
was
Let's
this a
break it down.
thumbs down for you?
This is a thumbs down.
Because we said it was a thumbs up.
No, it just didn't. It wasn't as good as the first one, and I kept comparing it to the first one. Like the first one was just so fucking special to me, and this one didn't feel like it was as good as the first one. I didn't
Oh, well put.
I didn't like the cast of characters as much as I liked the first one. Like
That's fair.
the original group was just so fucking great. It was so well done.
Hmm.
This one felt like it was aping on that, and it didn't feel like its own thing, and that kind of rubbed me a little the wrong way. And then like the fact that it wasn't a mystery and it was just like, oh, he did it, and it was see-through this whole time. Like, oh yeah, that's cool, but at the same time, like, man, I wanted something cooler. Like I felt let down by it. And
did you figure it out early? Did you know what was going on early?
I figured it out pretty quick, I think. But like I was hoping I was wrong. I was like, there's no way it's that, right? And then it's like, no, it is that. He's just stupid. And they say it over and over. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he doesn't actually face justice, really. And not that we see anyway. So I'm like,
So this is this is getting us to like the end here, like where it's like, okay, so the Hindenburg situation, right? The whole setup. Okay, so he sets everything up, right?
Oh,
that there's
hang on.
the fail safe, the Mona Lisa, all the stuff. It's all set up, right? Except for the fact that I'm just like, well, they should all die.
Yeah, the fact that they
they
didn't
should
die
all
in
just
the
be
explosion
exploded.
was terrible.
They should have
So-
all died, first of all. Second of all, my dad was a sailor. Growing up, I learned a lot about boats. I learned about tides. As soon as I saw his stupid fucking dock that only appears at low tide,
I love
was
that.
like, that's a biggest fucking safety hazard on the island. That is the dumbest fucking thing you could have possibly done.
The piece
And
of shit.
Sure enough, at the end, cops are like, we can't get there until low tide
Because
in the morning.
he's like, where is it from? He's like a piece of shit. Piece of shit. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah. I was like,
di-
that's so fucking stupid.
I didn't catch it the first time I was watching it. The second time I was just like, oh, he's saying piece of shit.
yeah.
That's- So this is sort
The
of
doc is a piece of shit.
Piaget. No, it's a piece of shit.
this
piece
is
of
sort
shit.
of my one problem with it. I actually didn't like hate the ending, but like I am sort of wondering how I feel still about the fact that his big character flaw is Miles is an idiot, and like I feel like, yeah, he's an idiot, and I'm fine with him being an idiot, and that's being his whole flaw. But like, how much heavy lifting does him being an idiot do in this movie?
A lot.
What do you mean?
Because there's stuff of like the world's greatest detective shows up to your house after you did a murder, and you can play that off as, oh, he's an idiot and he's starstruck and he wants to like make a big deal of it. But like eventually you're like, how much are we giving the movie leeway that he's just this dumb?
He's just okay with him being there?
Yeah, there's that, but like everything he does is like another layer of, oh, he's really, really dumb. And
I just watched the Trump administration, so I literally watched a president that was so.
I'm sorry, you watched that? I just watched
Is
Kevin McCarthy get the speaker. Third in line,
Also,
guys.
hang on.
Third in line.
We
Third in line.
established way early on. 2020 election was stolen. All right, don't
Yeah,
besmirch
absolutely.
the greatest president of all
Please,
time.
God.
all time.
Not this close to January 6th.
No,
Yeah, come on.
what you're talking
Yeah,
about
wait for the
McCarthy
national
saying
holiday to be over.
MLK Day?
No.
Sure.
My favorite part was when he and Matt Skate hugged like bros.
No, you mean giving up aid to Ukraine to be the speaker? That sounds so fun. I
would give up AIDS to the
think
Ukraine.
this movie points out how white men can do literally nothing but wrong things and still win.
Yeah, well,
And that is
You're welcome.
that is literally
All
no.
you need is charisma and money. I'm
yeah,
not kidding.
yeah. And the black girl gets I'm sorry, I forget
She gets
names.
shafted. Yeah.
Shafted, and it's
Yeah.
it's America, and it's
the
a
white
synopsis
men
of
that's
America.
the problem.
It's
Yeah, that's it. You sure support your
are you
sisters.
sure you used to watch
Her name
Joe
is
Rogan?
Helen, played by Janelle Monáe.
yeah, but what is the other sister that
Andy was the deceased sister,
Deceased,
the one
yeah.
that got murdered,
Condoleezza
and then
Rice.
Helen was her sister.
What
who
was her
came
full
in.
name?
Andy Brand.
No, but it's
Who?
It's Andy is her nickname, but her full first
Cassandra?
name is like Cassandra. Yeah, it's like something
Oh,
like that.
I
Like
think it's
that's
something
that's
like
where
that.
it's like it's
She's
strange that
credited
that's her
as
nickname.
Andy, so I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you.
I enjoyed all of that. Yeah, it is a bit ridiculous because when you think of it from the avenue, it's like it's one layer to be, and they try to address it with the whole premise. Like, well, what if I show up? He'll be confused, but if he's too focused on you, like as showing up like you're not dead, then he won't realize that you've also brought in like that would be my immediate connection. Not that like, oh, it's cool that you got in or somebody copied it. He just leaves that go.
Yeah, but it's weird that they also could bring friends. Like two people brought their assistant or their friend
Yeah,
or their
whiskey
lover.
and-
So it was weird that it wasn't just the immediate group anyway. So I kind of blurred the lines there because I didn't understand what.
Did he suggest that like the woman who ran the who wrote the mystery, did he imply that he thought like she copied it? Or like whoever had a thing in making the boxes, like, oh, somebody copied it and sent it to you. Like, one of these did he? I think it's a quick line.
No,
but like,
Blanc did. Blanc told him, "Well, could you reset the box?" That's what he tells him.
But he says somebody reset the box.
That's what the Blanc comes
So
up
he
with all
never.
the ideas,
So does
and
he
that's
just drop the idea that one of these six did it? Because if that's the case, maybe he thinks it's Andy. Because if that's the case, that makes some sense. Like, but he would have to be thinking that it's her that brought fucking the world's greatest detective here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he sees her, you have to think that they're connected, and that's exactly against the point that he was trying to make. I like that it's almost like another layer that this actual movie is that dumb. It's like you peel back and it's like, no, actually the movie was dumb too. But you enjoyed it. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like
it was
that
a
layer
well
too.
written.
It was fun.
It was the dialogue was well done.
so witty.
The overarch the plot was not, in my opinion, at all.
Sure.
And I don't mind people not spending time on the plot if they're going to make it entertaining the entire time.
I'm there to be entertained, right?
Right. So what's the point? Right? Is the point?
I'm not thinking about any of those things in the moment, right?
No,
like,
but
you're
the
trying
ending
to catch
was
everything
so
that's going on.
Fast and the Furious stupid with
Yeah.
explosions
That's the only part
that I
that
was
up
like,
the
this
moment.
didn't have to happen. They all could have ran out and realized like they could have, the boat could have came, all the people could have exited the fucking house, and she could have left the house throwing the hydrogen piece or that little whatever the crumble was.
They could have gotten out of there. It could have blown up, but the Mona Lisa thing is still all that stuff's intact. Like the fail safe, the thing that she has to do, she could.
Yeah, that would have been
ruin
even
it.
cooler if she didn't ruin the piece and it fell safe and he exploded. Like I would have loved all of that. He killed. He killed Andy. He killed. You know what I mean?
I like the culmination of being in the same breath as the Mona Lisa because he ruined it. Like I liked the closure
That was
of
fun.
that.
But I
Like,
will say,
but-
as a guy who spent his senior year taking AP Chem, the fact that they all didn't die instantaneously and get vaporized pissed me off.
It really was weird, right?
The only
Who made you
thing,
take
and
that?
I also think it's stupid. The devil's
AP
advocate
Chem?
thing is it goes through the vent
Yeah, I took AP Chem.
and it blows up the room above them. Like it blows up the onion, not necessarily the room that they're in.
Is that what happened?
Oh,
to
because of
Hindenburg?
ventilation.
Yeah, but yeah, because remember it
No,
goes
because
all the way up
the
through
Hindenburg,
vent.
the people didn't die. I think a lot of them till it crashed.
Right, it's just that there was a spark, the gas ignited, and it spread so quickly and so hot and so rapidly that it brought the Hindenburg down. The people in the actual capsule of the Hindenburg were fine until it went down because they weren't directly in the fire.
My grandmother watched that go down.
No kidding.
Yeah, in New Jersey.
Wow, cool story.
I mean, she didn't have a camera on her, and she lamented about.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you
cameras are
paid
pretty
attention
rare.
to things before smartphones.
Yeah, maybe.
Put
no,
your phones down and pay attention, kids.
If you
wild.
put your phone down, I would have seen 3 Hindenburgs today.
digital Hindenburgs, NFT.
Digiburgs.
There's an NFT for that now.
Oh
You can
God.
get the you can get the
And
Hindenburg.
Jeff owns 3.
Yeah, I paid $6 million for them. They're gonna be worth so much money.
Wait, did anyone here buy
Check those prices
Bitcoin?
now.
No.
I'm so glad for us.
There's actually there's a girl that I know through other people. She was a bartender when
Yeah, we
Bitcoin-
wouldn't believe you otherwise.
I know, right? She was a bartender when Bitcoin was starting to become a thing. She got tipped a Bitcoin by a guy and then forgot about it until last year. And it was worth tens of thousands of dollars. When she got tipped it was worth nothing. So she made out. Everyone else who jumped
Did
on
she
that,
cash it out before it crashed?
last I heard she
Doesn't
was
matter.
trying
It's
to
still
figure it out.
$16,000.
Like I said, she's like a friend of a friend of a
It
friend.
doesn't matter. It's still $16,000 for a share.
Yeah, she's gonna get that money.
Oh, it's a lot of money for
I
a
don't
share.
understand what I never understand when it's out of my realm. I don't
It
deal with
dropped
it.
a lot of money, but it's still worth a lot.
Yeah,
Have you guys seen the Trump NFTs?
That was the best part of last
I-
month. Besides this movie, hearing the old folk complain that they didn't get an actual picture of Trump and that it was only going to be digital after they spent the $99.99, I was dying.
Speaking of the $99.99, did you know that legally any campaign donation at $10,000 or more must be reported to taxes? And if you were to purchase an entire set of Trump NFTs for yourself, your grand total will be $9,990.
We are sponsored by
they're
Trump.
not
We should
all
put that
dumb.
out right now.
No, yeah.
So this is all going back to the glass onion. There has to be some sort of
Go onion.
The Glunion. Come on.
Glunion,
There-
a Nout movie.
So, did that Ryan guy write
Ryan.
this? Mm-hmm. Did he write this
Yes.
and directed?
Written and directed by Ryan Johnson, produced by Ram Bergman and Ryan Johnson.
So he had a heavy hand in this,
Yes.
as well as Knives Out.
Yeah, and it's a very Ryan Johnson movie.
He also did the second of the Star Wars sequels.
The Last Jedi.
The second one.
Where Han Solo dies?
No, the one after that.
The one after that where she flies.
Where Leia flies. Yeah,
I'm not
that
sure.
was-
You
I
actually
don't
like this one
I
better.
don't-
You liked that one.
Which one did I fall
I
asleep
also
in?
like that one.
Nah,
Probably nine.
Last, the Rogue
Rise of
Rogue
Skywalker.
One. Rogue
Rogue
One.
One?
Rogue One. You fell asleep.
Yo,
Yeah, you didn't
I'm
miss anything.
amazing. Listen,
An ongoing debate on the podcast, but I'm not going to get
It's
into
not
it.
an
Andor was
ongoing
good.
debate.
Andor was good.
Andor can be good and Rogue One can still
I
be
still
bad.
need to watch
True.
it.
okay, geeks, nerds, whatever the fuck we're calling you.
Kurds.
You're the
Okay.
one who wanted to be on my podcast. Fuck you.
Listen, I can dip my toe in, okay, Jeffrey. I thought this was for all of its flaws, I still thought this was a good movie. It's sort of like,
It was fun.
I need a better analogy right now, but I drink too much wine.
It's a good glass of onion.
No, the ending was really stupid though. Like, can we just say it
Yeah,
was fucking
sure.
stupid? It didn't even have to be that stupid for how smart every other part was.
Well, I don't like. It doesn't put a lampshade on it as much as like Clue does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Clue is a stupid ending. You're just like, I'm gonna go fuck my wife. Like
no,
it's
I
like,
thought that was
but it's
way
brilliant
better.
because it's in tone with the rest of it, and I feel like they went out of the realm of like suspension that they were setting up.
All the celebrities that did cameos in his little Zoom call, fucking Steven Sondheim,
Yeah, they're all mystery writers.
Serena Williams, Jake Tapper, Yo-Yo Ma.
The Serena
Yo-Yo
Williams.
Ma was at the
Yo-Yo
party.
Ma was at the party. He was in the pod.
He's like, oh, actually, you can
That's
see this as a map.
D minor.
Oh, that, okay.
A
Okay.
D minor thing. It shows this.
Well,
and
that's the other
envelopes.
thing is during the whole puzzle piece, it's like kind of hinting that they're all like kind of dumb idiots who became rich and famous off
This
of
doesn't-
other people's work because they didn't solve anything.
This isn't an Alexa. It's a lamp.
Oh, that was awesome.
Something.
No,
Kate
I-
Hudson was funny in
but
this.
like everybody else around them solved the puzzle for them.
No, I think the
essentially.
black dude was solving a
Sure,
couple
he
things.
did.
Parts of it.
And he
But,
was
like,
the
even-
scientist that was creating the actual product.
Yeah.
But I think, you know,
I
But
did
even,
like.
but even he was like, "Oh, it's this," and then started looking at it because like Dave Bautista's mom said something.
I don't recall the exact wording, but I did like when he's like openingly lamenting the like I get faxes and they say like this. Is it genius? I don't know. He also did this. Like,
Yeah.
it's like
yeah.
literally like it's like apples, but they're wrong. Like you could say anything, and I love the fact that like you could literally probably rewrite that part every time and just be like, "It's
well, yeah,
brilliant."
it's
absurdity.
back to the Elon Musk comparison. He once said that he wanted people to make a car that you could fuck. That's a real quote from Elon Musk.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
It's like a whole thing of just like you just say two things and you're just like
Based
I
on
guess.
how his chest looks, I think he turns into a car though. So
You would like him a lot more if he could transform.
yeah, I
into a car.
mean maybe. I don't
He's
like
a-
that he's
he's a
covered in
cyborg.
flesh though. That's weird.
A flesh car.
I don't like flowers.
so is there definitely going to be a third one with
Yeah.
Yes.
it's definitely happening.
Yeah.
Gotta
Is this
happen,
going to
right?
be more I bet this
Netflix
one will be
doesn't
more in the
back
theater.
out of money.
Yeah. So
Wait, is this the most what did this do to in the theater and at Netflix? What was the
it's
ranking?
very hard to say because Netflix doesn't publicize their numbers.
They
However,
well, at the theater they have to.
The budget of this one is about the same as the first one at $40 million, and in its box office run, which was only a week long, mind you, it did $15 million.
Wow, that's impressive.
In 7 days, it did $15 million. Right around Thanksgiving too, when nobody's really going to the
How-
theater.
They're
How much
doing
did
that
the first
because
one make?
they're doing that
The first
for
one
Oscars.
had a full release.
They're
The
doing
first
that
one-
for Oscars.
So the first one on a budget of $40 million made $311 million. The first
Holy
one.
shit.
So the first one was a huge success.
Yeah, but wait, but everyone is talking about this movie right now, so
Mm-hmm.
it's got to be a big deal.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a big deal.
They're not
And
saying how much it made outside of the box office.
no, because you can't determine how much it made because it's all Netflix subscriptions.
Is Netflix like basically like only using cash? Is it like not saying
Netflix-
numbers? Is that their way of saying everything's you have to pay with cash here?
Kind of, yeah. So Netflix has a lot of
Interesting.
stats on their shows and movies. They just don't publicize much of it. They will tell you, hey, 100 million people watched this over the weekend, and we have to accept that as fact because we have no way of fact-checking their numbers.
Yeah, they do a lot of this is number one on Netflix, but you have no gauge of what that is, how much more it is than number two.
or
Right.
if that's true.
Or if it's even true.
Yeah, but once something breaches the top 10, I hear about people talking about it.
Sure, and that's not nothing.
Yeah, but what came first, chicken or the egg?
Yeah, it's hard to explain.
I was gonna watch this movie regardless.
That's just what
I
comes up
loved
first.
the
People are like,
first
that
movie.
looks cool.
So
I'm gonna look at that.
The good news is that Netflix only really bankrolled this. They don't hold the rights to Benmoit Blanc or Knives Out.
Whoa.
Ryan
Yeah.
Johnson
Hold
does.
on, hold on.
Yeah,
hold
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
That's a huge deal.
Exactly. So Ryan Johnson has said he's going to keep
He's
writing.
he's a genius.
He's
so
gonna-
wait. Rian Johnson
Ryan, please.
So, keep finding different ways to say it every time.
is actually the genius here. He got Netflix to be he pimps Netflix.
Yes, because it's
God
Ryan
damn
fucking
it.
Johnson.
Where's
He's
my
been
money,
upset.
Netflix?
Wait, where was
Where's
this
my
guy
money?
from? What did he do before this beside that dumb Star Wars thing?
Okay, so if you want a full
And Knives Out.
filmography, hang on.
He did the Glunion.
So, feature films: 2005, Brick; 2008, The Brothers
She's a
Bloom;
brick and a-
2012, Looper; and then Star Wars: Last Jedi, Knives
Jesus,
Out. and
I haven't
Glass
seen
Onion.
a single fucking thing this guy's done.
He
except for-
directed 3 of the biggest episodes of Breaking Bad. He did the Fly episode, the 51 episode, and
Okay, but
Ozymandias.
where did he go to school?
School? What the fuck?
What's
Actually,
his
those are
social
good
security
episodes
number?
of Breaking Bad. I know the names of those episodes because they're apparently like a
Can
really
you tell me
amazing
his
How did
episodes
you-
of Breaking
Yeah.
He
Bad.
attended University of Southern California. Graduated from USC School of Cinematic Arts in '96.
But does he
What
have
are
a
the
podcast?
3 numbers on the back of his credit card?
948.
798.
I was really gonna say 948.
Oh,
That's
you
so
guys
funny.
all said your real number.
Oh my
didn't you?
god.
No.
Oh, you dummies!
That's
This is
not
the first
my
thing
real
that came to your
Hold
head.
on, let me look.
Stop it! Stop it! Don't
Everybody
prove it or
say
disprove
no.
it.
Oh my god, you did! I'm just kidding.
Even if it's right, just say it isn't. For fuck's sake, woman. Anyway, Jesus Christ.
Can't believe you were one digit off.
Anyway, so the big reason why people know his name is because the first movie he did, Brick, was a neo-noir mystery film that had a $450,000 budget and it made $4 million. So everyone immediately loved this guy, and he's just only
feel
been
like-
doing bigger and bigger
I
projects.
feel like people don't really know him until like Looper though.
Yeah, probably
That's-
Looper was right.
Well, that starred
Looper was 2012.
Bruce Willis and
And it was
Joseph Gordon-Levitt
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, I know. Well, him
and Emily Blunt.
well, that's why I was asked. I asked before we started recording. Can you check if?
Do you love Jason Gordon-Levitt?
No, I'm saying is is Joseph Gordon-Levitt in this movie? Because I know that they're friends in real life, and he's like in every movie.
No, but he is
he's-
handsome.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in
He's in
Last
Star
Jedi.
Wars?
He is in Last Jedi. He's like one of the
Oh, he's-
aliens in the casino.
He's
Like,
not as handsome in that one.
The hourly dong that goes around the island is the voice
Is
of Joseph
Joseph
Gordon-Levitt.
Gordon-Levitt.
It
I
is.
love that.
I love that
Yes,
dong.
because in
That's
the-
the hourly dong.
in the first one, the party.
Joseph
that's
Gordon-Levitt fucking works.
Oh, yeah.
His filmography
Oh, yeah.
page is huge.
Yeah, he works the
He should
pole.
use his real name, Robin.
Fuck you.
Fuck, oh,
Oh
that's
my
ooh.
god.
Worst
Superman
fucking
is
Batman
Good night,
movie.
folks.
Superman is better than Batman.
Ooh, I'm starting to
I'm
believe
not
that.
going to get into this.
I'm starting to
I'm
believe
gonna-
that one.
I don't want to.
I definitely believe Henry Cavill's better.
Guys, I think we've reached the end. I
Yeah,
think
that's what
there's
it
not
means.
much else to say about this film.
Well, there's a lot more to say.
Catch
no,
us
there's a
next
lot more
time.
to shit on. I think the ending is so fucking dumb.
we've talked about that already.
Yeah, we said.
Okay, but why do you make a smart movie and end it dumb?
Because that was the premise, was that, oh, shit, you're dumb.
Everybody's like, this must be deeper, this
So
must be
it-
more, but no, it's just idiots.
No, it's just the whole thing's dumb. No, I like that layer. I like that
Fucking
that's the
goddamn it.
last peel of the
Yeah,
onion.
but
is
I've
that the
had
whole
too much. We've had too much stupidity
The
in the
whole
last 5
thing was
years.
dumb.
It's been a bit much.
It
Heavy-handed.
Steve Martin would tell you, okay, that in comedy, okay, which this is a comedy at its heart. It's not.
It is.
It's not a mystery at its heart. It's a comedy. It wraps
which is the
itself
opposite
as-
of the first one.
True. Sure.
I think
arguable.
so. It's different.
I'll agree with that more
Maybe
than I disagree.
Fair,
with that.
maybe fair, but I think this, if this complements it, that it kind of does that to it. Maybe that's why it's on Netflix. Because it's
Could be.
it's like a parody of the first. But like no, in that
The
case,
next
it
one you
is a
can only watch
comedy,
in
and I think the
drive-throughs.
last layer of that comedy is the Holy Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where the police in modern day just pick them up on
Yeah.
the side of the road, or when you just peel back the last layer and you just say,
No, Mel
"Fuck it,
Brooks says
fuck
this
it."
all the time, where they in Blazing
You
Saddles,
go to
where
the
they
most
burst
absurdity.
into the
Yeah.
theater and all
Yeah.
that. That was better done than this.
Yes, I
it
agree.
wasn't done
I would
stupid
hang on,
enough.
Hang on,
Agreed.
interrupt. I want to clarify a statement I made earlier. So,
We
Benmoit
were
Blanc,
on to something. Why would you interrupt at this moment?
'cause
We were literally on to like a very important.
Were you really?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
I
because,
didn't think so. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's fair.
I'm
Cool.
sorry. I didn't think so. You can finish, please.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say other than it wasn't Blazing Saddles stupid bust in the theater. It was. I thought they were still going with something, and it never became
Yeah,
as
they
extravagant.
never sell it as over the top. They always
No.
kind of stay consistent as like this level, and I think that had they gone over the top, it would have worked as the last layer. And I think that's where the movie fails. They could just like go over the top in that moment, and I would be like, "Oh, it was genius! Like the whole thing was stupid. Like that would be great. That's a better ending."
If Vin Diesel showed up at the end,
Yes,
and said we're all family.
It's all about family.
That would have been amazing.
That is the best ending. What
Fantastic.
did you need to interrupt?
Clarify.
I just wanted to clarify. Netflix paid Ryan Johnson $469 million for the rights to 2 sequels. However, he retains the intellectual property of Benmoit Blanc and Knives Out.
Okay,
So
the
they-
first two.
so-
the first one
So this
and
is
the main
first
character.
of 2 sequels. Netflix is going to have a second Knives Out movie coming soon that Ryan is currently writing, I guess.
And then he'll either get renewed or.
And then Netflix can either renew their deal or the rights to Benmoit Blanc and Knives Out return to Ryan Johnson, and they are his. And he can shop them around to
Does
wherever.
Netflix get to decide if they renew or not?
I don't know. It's not clarified.
Because
probably like a
can they
contract deal.
renew and tank? Renew and tank. Renew and tank.
I mean, that's one possibility. I think if Ryan Johnson is definitely smart enough that if he smells that coming, he'll probably just back out and just keep his
Well, that's
shit.
the idea. Can he back out?
I would assume he could. I mean, again, the only things that we know for certain are what I just said out loud. So, like, you're in Hollywood. You've got
So,
lawyers. I'm sure they're going to iron out all
In
would
hindsight, I'd say no. This wasn't worth interrupting for. Right.
I
my
would
God.
love.
I genuinely didn't care about what you were talking about. So
I would love though if somehow Netflix interrupted and somehow made him make a terrible third one, and then he got the rights back and made a fourth one that was a parody of the bad one.
Like the Rotten Onion.
yeah,
could be. That'd be really funny, actually. But yeah, I just wanted to.
That's
clarify.
interesting that, okay, so he has to make the next one. The two are the Glass Onion.
Glass Onion, and then there's another one coming.
And then everything but the main character and the Knives Out movie are his.
Well, I mean, basically, yeah, the rights to the movies would just revert back to Ryan Johnson, and then he can write more if he wants. He can shop around to other networks,
Yeah,
release another feature film.
Similar stuff happened with James Cameron and Terminator.
Exactly. Once the deal was done with the studio, the rights went back to
Yeah,
James
they
Cameron.
were able to make 3 really, really bad ones. Then it went back to him, and he made an only sort of bad one.
Yeah.
Fine.
There's no time frame on that second sequel. Netflix told Ryan Johnson to just do what you will. Give it to us
Really?
when it's done. Yep.
Because how far apart were these two movies? 3
So
years?
Knives Out came out in 2019, and this one came out 2022. However, the reason it came out so quickly, according to Ryan himself, is because he was doing nothing in 2020, so he just sat down and wrote a movie.
Oh, man.
So-
That's good.
I mean, if you've got nothing better to do in lockdown...
I said that about lockdown. I said there better be some good fucking music being written right now. Y'all have time. I learned no one's touring. No one toured for almost a year. It feels like. I was like the whole time in lockdown. I was like,
I know a couple of underground punk venues in the city that were definitely still.
oh,
doing shows.
absolutely. But I know in New York too. People were definitely going to some shows, and they're getting broken up.
It was
a
like
little bit.
basement shows. Give me $5 at the door and bring your own drugs, kind of thing.
Yeah, bring your own BYOD.
BYOD.
But no, but I said that during COVID and lockdown. I was like, they got to be writing. Like, there's nothing you're doing. Like, write a script, write a song, write whatever. I'm interested. We haven't seen the fallout. I guess this is the first kind of fallout of that.
I would assume.
Besides,
so, yeah.
besides Cobra Kai, who's been pumping out seasons like it's kids in a fucking
Sure.
what's
You-
that? Nick
your
Cannon.
joke-
Nick Cannon kids.
Yep. There you
Pumping-
go.
yeah.
She landed the joke, everybody.
Wait, clap sound. Thank you.
Ah,
you.
Greta Thunberg.
Oh my God.
Thumber.
The
Pizza boxes.
Pack.
The one sort of thing I'll kind of close on is everybody always talks about like franchises and like running things into the ground and beating the dead horse. I kind of want Benmoit Blanc to be in movies for the
They've
rest
set
of
this
time.
up the same way that fucking
I don't
Miller
care-
set up Mad Max, where
I
it's
don't
just
care.
stories.
I don't care if
Yes.
there are
I-
15 of these.
I kind of want
It's like
Benmoit
James
Blanc
Bond,
to
but
show
with
up.
Benmoit Blanc.
I want Benmoit Blanc to show up in a portal in Endgame. I want.
I want Rick and Morty to have
I
Benmoit
want.
Blanc.
Yeah, I want.
on your left.
I'm on your left, cat.
You don't gotta
He
look.
doesn't. He doesn't like. He just like walks up like real casually, hands in his pockets, like I'm on your left, Cap.
taps him on the shoulder.
You're the left.
That would be Benmoit too. You're all the left. I'm sorry.
All polite about how stupid people are.
Yeah. No, but you nailed it, Troy. Like
I don't care if some are bad. I don't care if some are like better than others. I don't care if they change tone a bunch.
Like
I
007.
I want them. Yeah, if he surfs.
I'm
a
blonde
tsunami or
now. I'm
whatever.
blonde.
yeah.
Or no, it's a avalanche he snowboards through. That's
Yes.
what I want. Yeah.
That's yes.
Yes.
This is such a good character.
I actually think the last James Bond had a zombie in it. Is that true?
No.
I think it is. But let's.
I saw it in
digress.
theaters.
I digress.
There should be a zombie in James Bond. Though.
Wait, is that a joke?
I said I digress.
Troy, thank you for that closing statement. That was wonderful. And this is, I think that's Ryan's ultimate goal, is that it's just gonna be a bunch of stories starring Benmoit Blanc.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite part about all of this is just reading about how much Daniel Craig loves doing this, and it's like his favorite job.
He
in the
really
world.
does?
Yeah,
I
It's-
love making fun of
and
Southerners.
It's so.
I mean, think about it. If you were doing a job, like a regular job, where you had to be super serious spy for every day for
And
decades,
action sequences. And
yeah, and then
and-
they're like, "Hey, you want to be a goofy detective and put on a fake Southern accent?" Like, fuck yeah, man!
It's so good to hear.
Can I wear a pink mask?
Absolutely, Benoit.
It's so good to hear too, because there's literally a statement where they were like, "Are you going to do another James Bond?" And he said, "If I had to do another one of these, I would kill myself." And then he did another one, and then he stopped doing them.
and then he was killed in it.
And then
He was killed at the
and
end
then
of
he
No
killed
Time to Die.
himself.
No, spoiler alert! Yeah, he gets nuked from low orbit.
Yeah, they literally drop a nuke on him
He is
I love that for
disintegrated.
him.
From Lorbit?
Yes,
from Lorbit. Yeah,
and then he got to be a fun.
he was
Southern
also like,
detective.
even if the nuke didn't hit, he was dead. He was shot
Yeah.
up
Wait,
so many times.
did that last?
And that shot him right into
James-
the arms of Hugh Grant.
did the last James Bond come out the year before of the Knives Out?
Covidity?
2021? Yeah, Troy and I
yeah,
went and
I
saw it in
think it was the
theaters.
same year.
Stop telling me the 2021. I
21.
get it.
Wait,
It's a
wait. When
winner.
did the last James Bond with him come out?
2021.
So Knives Out had already been
Knives
out.
Out's earlier
Yeah.
than that, I think.
I thought
Knives
it
Out
was-
was 2019. 2021 was No Time to Die.
Okay, so it was okay. So you still had to do one after.
I imagine one
Feels like it was a perfect time to die.
yeah, right. I imagine one was finished
He,
far
he
before the
actually
other.
found quite.
Yeah, they didn't want
a
to
good
release
amount
it
of
during
time.
COVID.
He
Yeah.
found a way to pencil it in.
This
his
is no
schedule.
time to die. 2020, pretty sure was exactly the time.
Yeah.
I would argue.
Troy, if I remember from our podcast, as the female just pointed out, No Time to Die was supposed to come out during COVID, and they pushed
Yes,
it.
that
because
kept
of-
getting pushed. So
Yeah.
it could have been
No,
done.
I think it was
before.
like supposed to come out like actual lockdown.
Yes, it was. I remember being excited
because
for it.
yeah, that's true, because I saw the trailer 900 times.
Yeah, I
know,
remember going to the movies with you during.
I really
2020.
feel like the success of Top Gun Maverick has just given the wrong message to Tom Cruise.
All right. Well,
I feel like, these, speaking of just movies that were delayed,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, what are the odds that this movie, he must be the chosen one, is all he got out of this whole thing.
Maybe I can't die.
Maybe I am Tom Cruise the Immortal. Maybe I am Jesus.
I'm gonna drive a motorcycle off a cliff now.
Tom Cruise, if you want to come on the pod,
no.
I'll let Tom Cruise on the
I'll
pod.
let him.
I would love to hear what that sounds like.
I need to be taller than someone on the pod,
Ooh.
It's very true.
besides Jeff.
Yep.
I'll be like a god next to Tom.
God.
You'll be Captain America next year. Not post serum, finally.
Jesus Christ.
All right. What's the end credits sound like?
Well, we do letter grade.
Letter grade.
They sound like letter grades.
Letter grade of
This is
this
good.
movie
This will be
production.
good because I'm intrigued. This will be
Glass
where we
Onion,
really.
a Knives Out mystery. Troy, give it a letter.
I'm gonna say an A minus.
Wow.
It's in my top 3 movies of the year. I think Nope might be the only thing that I can think of that beats it. But the ending does fall flat.
Yes, agreed.
B
Woman.
plus.
B plus. D.
It's one of those.
Well, you made an A sound.
I mean, I'm a B plus.
It's one
if
of
that
those.
helps you.
That definitely an A minus.
All right, so it's an A average. All right. This movie was certainly fun to watch. It does fall flat, and I wish that there was something deeper and meatier there rather than just being like,
Is that
nah,
an A
y'all are
average?
stupid. But it is
No.
two
It's
A
definitely not an A average.
2 B pluses and 2 A minuses. Isn't that an A?
A minus is before A.
No one had A. That's like making it
Oh.
way higher than it could have been.
It doesn't fucking matter. Who gives a shit?
89.99999.
It's an 89999.
It's basically an A minus.
It's a basic
If you-
bitch.
I didn't want to do minuses and pluses, and y'all just started doing them.
Oh, really?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
know
I
ages
always,
ago.
I always allowed them.
Anyway, that's how we feel about Knives Out. A Glass Onion. A Knives Out
Absolutely
mystery.
watch it.
Watch it. It's on Netflix. You have no reason not to. I'm sure you're all.
Unless you don't have Netflix.
Steal your ex boyfriend's Netflix and watch
Listen,
it.
if you wake up in the middle of the night, you're probably already watching it.
You know what's funny? Netflix is cracking down on password sharing, and they're going to limit it to like how many
Did you
devices.
say Netflix does crack?
They're cracking down
Oh.
on device share, on like
Makes
password
so much more
sharing,
sense.
which is just the wrong way to go in the streaming world. But let's see how
It's
it
a
works
hot
for
take
'em.
there. There's a tepid pull there.
Super tepid pull.
Super tepid.
That's it for this episode of the TB&J podcast. We've got some more stuff coming at you soon, including The Last of Us and others.
Ant-Man should be soon, right?
Ant-Man's not for like a month.
So still soon-ish.
That's
If
not-
we're doing a show.
It's not soon.
All right.
I don't know if you know how time works.
I do.
31 days. Wait, no, 28 soon. It's a short month.
Doesn't seem that far.
It is. Trust me.
Isn't that a Sandra Bullock movie, 2018?
You're just wrong. Accept it.
No.
Oh, look at that. Now you're wrong. And you can't fight it. Nope. I'll break it off. I'll break it off.
Benmoit Blanc in Japan. Well, konnichiwa.